Hey folks, get ready because today on Undiscovered America TV, we're trading the interstates for the back roads. Sure, taking the highway might get you there faster, but even just one trip down a scenic route can be a true path to adventure. See, when you hit the back roads, everything changes. The pace slows down, the stress melts away, and suddenly you're surrounded by stunning local landscapes, rolling hills, sparkling lakes, and forests that seem to go on forever. But it's not just about the scenery. The back roads are where you find those small towns that look like they're straight out of a postcard, quirky roadside attractions and mom and pop diners serving up authentic local cuisine. It's where you meet those friendly folks, discover unique shops, and create stories you'll remember for a lifetime. So forget the fast lane, grab your sense of adventure, and let's explore the roads less traveled. Trust us, it's worth every extra mile.
Let's take it to the streets, show you the land of the free like you've never seen. Talking about undiscovered America, undiscovered America, undiscovered America. Oh! Undiscovered America.
Accessible travel isn't just about ramps and parking spots. It's about creating welcoming experiences for all travelers. Visit Mesa is leading the way, and Christy Durso shares how even the smallest change can make a big impact.
Thank goodness we have our specialist, Christy Durso, here to give us tips on traveling folks with accessibility or disability issues. You know, there are many destinations across the country that have accessibility and disability programs in place, meaning they've studied how to best handle visitors who need some sort of accommodation. One of those, top among them, might even be Mesa, Arizona, who has very special and very specific programs in place to employ just this.
Mesa, Arizona is definitely one of the destinations leading the charge in creating a space that is welcoming for everyone. Not just a space accessible, but a space welcoming. It all started with their website, putting accessibility information up there. And then once they did that, they wanted to do more. So they sought out their autism certification with IBCCAS. That wasn't enough for them. So then they began working with Will the World and became a destination verified with Will the World, meaning Will the World came in and measured specific things to make sure that they had the correct information so that people could come into the destination and know exactly what to expect when they arrive. Bed heights, what the showers look like, what the attractions look like, and whether or not the restrooms are accessible or they'd have to go somewhere else, whether or not there's a ramp into the pool or it's a pool lift. They also have participated in the Sunflower Project, which provides a sunflower lanyard, which silently alerts somebody who is in the know that this family has a disability and they're going to need extra time and extra care and a little bit of extra patience sometimes. All of their initiatives have just been absolutely incredible, and I know that they're going to just keep pursuing that to a higher and higher level.
Now we're off to Kansas to explore another National Scenic Byway. Get ready to experience the wide open beauty of the American Midwest as we explore the Flint Hills National Scenic Byway in Kansas. This 47-mile stretch of highway takes you on an unforgettable journey through one of the last remaining tallgrass prairies in North America. If you've ever wondered what it's like to feel the freedom of endless horizons, this is your chance. The Flint Hills are known for gentle rises covered in lush grasses that sway with the breeze, making it feel like you're driving through an ocean of green. And this landscape is unique. Less than 4% of the original tallgrass prairie remains in the United States, and the Flint Hills are home to the largest piece of it. As you drive, you'll be surrounded by the natural beauty of native wildflowers, picturesque limestone bluffs, and an abundance of wildlife. This byway is also a journey through the heart of American ranching culture. You'll pass through small towns like Council Grove and Strong City, each with its own stories to tell. In Council Grove, you can learn about its significance as a major stop on the Santa Fe Trail and see landmarks like the Hayes House, the oldest continuously operating restaurant west of the Mississippi. It's an incredible glimpse into the past when cattle drives and wagon trains were a way of life. The Tallgrass Prairie National Preserve, located just outside Strong City, has hiking trails that take you deep into the prairie, giving you a first-hand look at this unique ecosystem. You might even spot bison roaming the fields, adding a true Wild West feel to your adventure. The Flint Hills National Scenic Byway is a reminder that sometimes the most beautiful places are those that take their time. It's a journey where the land stretches out endlessly, the sky feels bigger, and every mile brings you closer to the oftentimes elusive heart of the American prairie. So, take a deep breath of fresh Kansas air, roll down those windows, and let the Flint Hills take you on a ride through one of the most serene and beautiful landscapes in the country. Did you know there's a method behind numbers on those highway signs you see? The U.S. numbered highway system, established back in 1926, follows some clever conventions. Odd number routes run north-south, and their numbers increase as you move from east to west. So, U.S. Highway 1 travels along the eastern seaboard, while U.S. 101 is way out on the west coast. For east-west routes, it's all about even numbers, which increase from north to south. Pay attention, like US 2 near the Canadian border and US 90 near the southern border. And what about those 3-digit numbers? Well, those are used for spurs or auxiliary routes branching off the main highways. For example, US 301 is a spur of US 1. State highways also have their own unique numbering systems, often varying by state, but usually following similar conventions to keep drivers on track. So next time you're cruising down the highway, take a moment to appreciate how much planning goes into those numbers. They're like a secret code to help you navigate America. Who knew? What you see here is only the beginning of the story. The conversation continues online. So for behind-the-scenes photos, videos, blogs, updates, and deeper dives into the stories we share, be sure to follow us 24/7, 365. You can check out all of our social media channels, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, or find them on our website at undiscoveredamerica.tv. You can also email us by sending a note to info@undiscoveredamerica.tv. We'll be right back after a quick break. Welcome back to Undiscovered America TV, where today we are getting off the beaten path. Here we are with Catherine Orr. She's with Historic Hotels of America. Catherine, how are you?
Hi, I'm well, thank you.
So it sounds like you have a great job. Hotels, I love hotels. They're my favorite things, particularly historic hotels. Real quick, what is the mission of your organization? Very, very simply.
Of course, the mission of Historic Hotels of America is to celebrate and promote the finest historic hotels in the United States. We are a program, we are a program of the National Trust for Historic Preservation, and we're really anchored by that mission to support historic preservationists.
Okay, so how does one become a member or recognized by historic hotels? How does something become a historic hotel?
We are not a static listing of historic hotels. So we're an engaged community of historic hotels that want to be part of this kind of information sharing, resource sharing group, where we bring hotels that want to engage with us, want to engage with our followers. We have a great following in our newsletters and our social media, and fans at the National Trust. So hotels that want to be part of the group need to apply. A hotel must be over 50 years old to be part of the program. Right. It should be eligible for listing on the National Register of Historic Places. Okay. Many of the hotels in the program are National Historic Landmarks, like the one behind me, the West Bend Springs Hotel.
Beautiful.
Some of our hotels are located in national parks, in the Grand Canyon, in Zion National Park, and Glacier National Park. So we have a wide variety of hotels. Some are large, some are small, some are very historic, some are mid-century modern.
Got you. You have to be 50 or older, right? You have to be open to the public. So far, I qualify to be a historic hotel. When someone sees that sticker, it's very important. It's a prestigious thing to be part of this program. When someone sees that sticker, what are they to expect at a historic? How is this stay going to be different from a non-historic hotel?
Oh, very different. Just as luxurious as they might be expecting at another hotel. But Historic Hotels of America members emphasize their history through their architecture, through their amenities, through the experiences that they offer people coming to the hotel either to stay overnight or just to visit. They look at the aesthetic of the building. They find ways to emphasize the
So what's funny there is you hit on my favorite word. You know, it's experience. It's the experience, I think, of staying in those hotels that really sets it apart. There's nothing wrong with your standard cookie cutter chain where you get your points and you get your breakfast and whatever. That's fine. But these are experiential moments, and that's really why I think most people travel. I think the challenge sometimes is this, and I've always wanted to ask someone in your organization this. There's a fine line between trying to keep up with all the most modern amenities and retaining your historical feeling and infrastructure. Talk me through that.
Of course. Well, I think what we want to emphasize is the preservation of the building and the preservation of the stories. So outside of that, you can come in with your high tech, your iPads in your hotel rooms. You can renovate, you can restore. We've had several hotels in the past year, fantastic grand dames, go into a major restoration, major renovation to upgrade the rooms. I think we like to emphasize that we aren't old, we're historic. And there's a difference. We're not musty, dusty, run down, tired. We celebrate our history, but that also allows us as an identity to be fresh, to be new, be exciting. So I think that technology and modern amenities, of course, can go in a historic hotel very easily.
And there is that fine line always. And I know some operators and owners of these hotels, and we've worked with them in the past. And it seems like a lot of time there is a narrative. You have to weave this thread between being the latest and greatest and all of the modern comforts like we were just talking about, but also to retain that sense of history. And particularly in America, sometimes ordinances, local ordinances particularly, zoning, fire, all these meant to protect the guests, really do kind of incur on the physical infrastructure of the hotel. Does a hotel have to re-up and reapply to make sure they still meet these historic measures?
That's a very good question. I don't think I've ever heard of a hotel going through such a transformation that they've lost their qualification for being in the program. I think all of the hotels that are engaged in the program are interested in historic preservation. So a hotel that would damage its historic value wouldn't naturally be part of the program to begin with.
You know what? It's interesting, and I didn't think of this until just now, but it seems like a lot of the historic hotels really know how to celebrate all of the holidays because it's part of the community. Another common thread is a lot that I've stayed in that we've done here on Undiscovered America have a haunted past, right? There seems to be a thread with historic hotels and ghost tours and this kind of thing. How do you navigate that, particularly with kids who might not want to stay in a ghost hotel?
Of course, well, a lot of our hotels, when they offer ghost tours, they have an age limit or they require an adult or a guardian to be with the child. Usually, over 13 will be allowed to go on a ghost tour at a hotel. I know hotels definitely, they don't always underplay their ghost stories, but they are selective in how they tell their ghost stories.
Sure. Finish this sentence for me. People should stay at a historic hotel because
it's the right thing to do. Historic hotels are anchors for their communities. They're places where you can grow and learn. They're places where you can write your own history.
Hey, Catherine, listen, thanks again for being with us today at Undiscovered America. We love staying in historic hotels. We've had some great experiences there. And we'll think of you guys every time we stay at one. Catherine, if people want to find out more about this beautiful soft collection of hotels, how can they do that?
They can go to our website, historichotels.org, and there people can learn more about our Historic Hotels members and book too.
Listen, that sounds fabulous. We hope to do that next time we are on location with Undiscovered America. Thanks for being with us today.
Thank you, David.
Look, whether it's in an RV, a car, or on a motorcycle, you're not going to want to miss the views on Byway 12. Get ready to embark on one of America's most stunning drives, Scenic Byway 12 in Utah. This 123-mile stretch winds its way through some of the most breathtaking landscapes the state has to offer, connecting two of Utah's iconic national parks, Bryce Canyon and Capitol Reef. And let me tell you, it's called a scenic byway for a reason. Driving along Byway 12 is like flipping through a postcard book of Utah's incredible landscapes. You'll see towering red rock formations, sprawling canyons, ancient petrified forests, and rolling alpine meadows. The changing scenery is so dramatic it feels like you've stepped into a different world at every turn. Make sure to stop at Red Canyon. Those vivid rock formations are an amazing sneak peek of what's to come at Bryce Canyon. One of the highlights of this drive is passing through Escalante Grand Staircase National Monument. This part of the route takes you directly into the heart of the wildest and most diverse natural areas in the country. As you make your way through, stop off at the Escalante Petrified Forest State Park for a hike among petrified wood that's over 150 million years old. Scenic Byway 12 is a breathtaking experience that immerses you in the raw, rugged beauty of the American Southwest. Just remember, it's about enjoying the journey as much as it is about the destination. So take your time, soak in the scenery, and make plenty of stops along the way. Trust me, this is one road trip you'll remember for a lifetime. Pack your sense of adventure because today we're taking a drive on the Trail Ridge Road in Rocky Mountain National Park. Stretching 48 miles between Estes Park and Grand Lake, this iconic highway is the highest continuous paved road in the United States, soaring up to over 12,000 feet above sea level. If you're ready for some jaw-dropping scenery and that feeling of pure freedom, this is the place to find it. Trail Ridge Road is often called the highway to the sky, and for good reason. As you make your way up the winding road, you'll feel like you are leaving the rest of the world behind. The air gets crisper and cooler, the trees get shorter, and soon you're driving through a vast alpine tundra with incredible panoramic views stretching as far as the eye can see. On a clear day, you can see all the way straight through to Wyoming. This road is a journey through diverse ecosystems, each more beautiful than the last. Start out in the lush, thick forest of the ponderosa pine and aspen, then transition through subalpine meadows, and finally emerge in a wide open alpine tundra above the tree line. So keep your eyes peeled here. You might spot elk, marmots, or even a bighorn sheep along the way. Trail Ridge Road is home to several must-see stops. At the Alpine Visitor Center, some 2 miles above sea level, you can stretch your legs, take in some incredible views, and learn a bit about the unique wildlife and plants that survive in these harsh conditions. And the views from Rock Cut or Forest Canyon Overlook will leave you speechless as you gaze over sweeping valleys and snow-capped peaks. Although it can be closed when the snow is too high and the driving too dangerous, Trail Ridge Road is like taking a trip through the clouds, surrounded by the rugged beauty of the Rocky Mountains. Whether you're a seasoned mountain explorer just looking to take in some awe-inspiring sights, Trail Ridge Road is an unforgettable experience that takes your breath away, quite literally, thanks to that elevation. It's a ride you won't forget and one that simply cannot be duplicated anywhere in the world. Hey, grab your keys and your BFF. We are headed to Nevada and historic Route 50. Now, are you ready for an adventure down the loneliest road in America? Here we go on a journey across US Route 50, a road that's as much about the stories as it is about the miles. Stretching across the heart of Nevada, this windswept highway offers solitude, stunning landscapes, and a taste of real Americana. Look, it all started back in 1986 when Life magazine dubbed this stretch of Route 50 the loneliest road in America. How about that? They claimed there was nothing out there, advising travelers to bring survival gear just in case. Little did they know their words would turn into a badge of honor and a draw. Locals embraced the name, and ever since, the road has become a symbol of adventure and discovery, an invitation for travelers to take the road less traveled and experience the beauty of the wide open West. Route 50 runs coast to coast, but the Nevada stretch from Carson City to the Utah border is where it earns its reputation. It's a ribbon of asphalt cutting through miles of wide open desert, mountain ranges, and historic ghost towns. You'll pass through small, quirky towns like Ely, Eureka, and Austin, places that feel frozen in time, where a warm smile and a good story are always waiting for those who stop by. The experience of traveling the loneliest road wasn't always as desolate as you might think. The route was once part of the Pony Express, an old mail route that carried letters across the Wild West. Today, remnants of that rugged past are still visible. Abandoned mines, old railways, and even Pony Express stations that whisper tales of a bygone era when it wasn't as lonely as more modern moniker suggests. It's a journey that speaks to the pioneer spirit, a reminder of what it's meant to chase opportunity across the great unknown. But accurate or not, don't let that name fool you. Lonely doesn't mean boring. The vast desert scenery is anything but empty. Snow-capped peaks rise in the distance, wild mustangs roam the plains, and starry night skies stretch endlessly above. It's the kind of place where you feel the immensity of the landscape and the sense of freedom that only comes from the open road. So if you're looking for a little breathing room to call your own, the loneliest road in America is calling your name. Come for the solitude, stay for the beauty, and experience a drive that's filled with history, wonder, and plenty of wide open spaces. Just remember, fill up on gas and bring a sense of adventure, because out here, the journey is everything. We're leaving the desert in our rearview mirror now, and we're heading north to the mountains of the Cascade Loop. Our journey begins in the vibrant city of Seattle, where we'll start our drive east toward the Cascade Mountains. As we leave the city behind, the landscape quickly transforms into a lush green expanse of towering trees and crystal clear rivers leading directly to Leavenworth, a charming Bavarian village nestled in the heart of the Cascades. Here you can wander the cobblestone streets, sample authentic German cuisine, and soak in the beautiful mountain views. Next up on the adventure is the stunning North Cascades National Park. This rugged wilderness is a hiker's paradise with endless trails weaving through alpine meadows, jagged peaks, and sparkling and perpetually chilly glacial lakes. It's popular with local wildlife as well, including black bears, mountain goats, and bald eagles, so keep on the lookout. The scenic drive along North Cascades Highway, where every turn offers a new and jaw-dropping vista, is a superlative within a superlative, trust me. And after exploring the wonders of Cascades National Park, our next destination is the tiny town of Winthrop. This Old West-style outpost is like the setting of a movie with wooden boardwalks, cowboy saloons, and Western-inspired architecture. Popular activities in these parts include horseback riding through Methow Valley and sampling local wines at one of the many wineries in the area. As we continue our journey, we'll pass through Chelan, nestled on the shores of pristine Lake Chelan. Here, crystal clear waters set the stage for activities like swimming, kayaking, and paddleboarding, or even a ferry ride. And nearby vineyards and orchards offer a taste of the region's famous wines and fresh produce. Our final stop on the Cascade Loop is the iconic town of Everett, home to the famous Boeing factory tour. Here, you can get an up-close look at the massive assembly building, the largest building in the world by volume. It's a fascinating glimpse into the world of aviation and a must-see for any aviation or architecture buff. The Cascade Loop is a favorite trek of locals and visitors alike, offering a retreat that allows time and space for reflection on the stunning beauty and serenity of the Pacific Northwest. It's a guaranteed respite from the hustle and bustle of your everyday life, no matter where you call home. Stay tuned, we'll be right back after this break.
Poshmark is the perfect side hustle. It got me through school, a new job, and getting into my first apartment. There's so much I can sell. Bags, accessories, home decor, and it's so easy to sell on Poshmark, you can do it in a minute. I love it.
Thanks for joining us today on Undiscovered America TV as we explored the roads less traveled. From winding scenic byways to offbeat attractions and charming small towns, we hope we've inspired you to take the slower, more adventurous route on your next journey. So, next time you hit the road, consider ditching the GPS, skipping the major highways, and embracing the adventure of the back roads. Until next time, stay safe and stay adventurous.